Alright, happy Halloween from Final Fantasy Record Keeper, I guess. You got this nice new banner for Halloween. It's pretty good. The nicer thing is they got this music in here. What are these? Every time I start up, it's like, it makes me download a bunch of new apps to keep BlueStacks running. The upsetting thing is, this is the only place that the music plays. It's right here. Anywho, what we got this week is the Hope event. Hope and Vanille, technically. But this stuff is mainly based around Hope. There's two things of note that we see right here. First of all is we got the boss rush, which is pretty good. Gives us Runga, which is a very useful rank 4 black magic spell. It's better than Quake. It's not elemental, so that's great. Most of the bosses have a lot of weaknesses. This one's Lightning Water, as is this one. This one I believe is only Wind. Excuse me. But last event we got Aerora Sword, so that's gonna be really useful for that fight. And then this one's Fire and Ice, so it's gonna be a lot of bringing spells. In fact, I'm going to go mostly with a spell slinging party, not a lot of melee. The other thing to note that I pointed out is there is an event quest. I'm not going to be doing this on video, but I may give a breakdown at the end of suggestions I have for this. Is there a way to actually look at this? I think I have to abandon. Nope, there we go. So you have to do the final stage of the Elite Dungeons, the 99 difficulty, with a 3-man party. Doesn't have to be Final Fantasy 13 characters, but I'd actually kind of recommend that, because if you did the Orb Festival and you got everybody to 65, then you're getting an extra 10 levels out of that. Unless you bring Cloud, because he's already 80, so whatever. Anyway, we've been stalling enough. Let's get going and do a quick breakdown. So I'm bringing Lightning with Aerora Blade and Thundara Blade. Saz with a Power Break and Magic Break. Vivi's coming in with Blizzaga, Waterga. Hope is coming in with Fire-Raja and Thundaja. So that's the rank 4s. I always have to specify because they just sound too similar to me anyway. And then Vanille's coming in with a heal and Dialga. Record Materias for the two spellcasters are their respective restoring ones. Vivi has Devotion because there isn't a third one, and these spells have enough uses that it doesn't matter anyway. Saz and Lightning have the Inflict Sap for extra stat materias. I kind of just like those. They work really well. And then just pick whatever weapons that you have best synergy and best stats with. That goes without saying. So let's get moving. Actually, I'm kind of looking at that major ice orb too. Now that we've gotten so many major orbs and we've started to be able to make abilities, I'm kind of eyeing the major orbs a bit more than other ones. So yeah, I have like a Vega. I have the Vega, which is a big thing. And a healing staff that I've gotten twice, so that's pretty useful. Along with this 5-star equipment. But otherwise, I'm just bringing the general 5 stars that I have. Chrome points out in the chat, if you don't have a good weapon for somebody like Saz, Hold up, I'm actually trying to follow this statement. If you don't have a really good weapon for support here, it might be a good idea to give your breakdown user zeal or the like. So they... Oh! Okay. I see what you're saying. So I have the sap materia on my user. He's talking about zeal as in the materia, the one that gives you auto haste. That is actually a good point. That would also be a good thing to give your breakdown user. I'm just going to take a standard Sentinel Grimoire-like. Going to try and save that for the last 2 fights. As always. It's always those last ones that have the harder hitting bosses. Let's just call this one Hope 1. Oops. Gotta turn this on first. H is for hope. There we go. DT in the chat was attempting the event quest, and it apparently has not gone well. I'm sorry. That just means that you get to regroup and try again later. Anywho, let's get started on this boss rush. These fights should go pretty quickly. The only thing I'm worried about is not having much mitigation for the first 2 fights, though power and magic break should be enough. What's our speed? 2 is good. Yeah, we want to use the water gut here. Keep Vivi topped off, Thundaja, and a Thundara Strike. We want to use all of our water and thunder spells on the first fight, and then use our ice and fire spells on the later fights. Yeah, our damage is pretty high here, so I don't think this should be too much of an issue. Spellcasters. It's actually pretty interesting. In Japan, there's actually what they refer to as the spellcaster meta, in that they tend to gravitate towards teams of spellcasters, mainly because spellcasters do the most damage usually. I mean, just look at the numbers that these guys are pumping out. And a miss there. We don't even need to do anything. Let's just use this Dialga, because she's going to get a spell refresh anyway if Vivi doesn't kill it. Wow, I think the experience amounts for this are actually pretty low. Somebody in the chat points out, and I'm telling you, Vivi is using a 4-star plus rod, only has devotion, and he's still almost hitting the damage cap. Vivi is a really good black magic caster. If you need somebody to come into a fight and just be a caster, just bring Vivi. He will get the job done. And get it done well. We're actually going to magic break down this guy first, because we should be very wary of its hyper beam. It's a party-wide magic attack and will do a lot of damage. Well, okay. Calling me out for saying he only has devotion. Devotion is a 30% boost. But it's like... There we go. See, perfect. I knew that was coming. Brain farting. You get this glitch with blue stacks sometimes, or it repeats animations twice. Don't know what's up with that. Wave cannon twice in a row. That means we're actually not going to go into the next fight all that strong. It would be pretty weak. Try to get this heal off before the Thundara Blade. Good. That should go to... I almost called her Cloud. Ah, Foils, the same character. I don't think Wave Cannon is percent damage. I'm pretty sure it's magic based. I could be wrong. Alright, so those first two fights were actually the ones I was kind of worried about. I will have Sentinel Grimoire, or Stone Skin in this case, for these later fights, but this second fight here is actually pretty rough. This boss at least. I just remember being kind of a bastard. We're going to spend this fight actually healing everybody up. And I think it does magic damage more. Whoops. My headset cord has caught my foot. Also, look at this thing. It just has more health. Vivi does have the exception of, since he has that, excuse me, record material on that increases his magic, he takes a lot more magic-based damage. Not magic, physical. That should be good, topping the party off-wise. We can actually start going at him with Vanille. That is a lot of DPS that we have been using. This is set to 2. Okay. Just feels slow. I might switch over to... Yeah, there we go. Might switch over to lightning-based spells. I don't think Devotion lowers both resistance and defense. That would be a bit much. She's water guy. So what I did last turn with Vivi was I used his Soul Break. I don't know if I've gone over this before, but... Oh. Did it use an armor up on itself? Ooh boy. It's getting a little sketchy here. Yeah, I think I was right for being worried about this boss. So right now, Vivi has increased magic from his default Soul Break. Vivi actually has one of the best defaults. I can't remember if one of my past videos I've ever mentioned that. Luckily, we can really take a Hellstorm Bolt. We do want Vanille, making sure everybody's topped off. And we'll just keep throwing out Water Alright, so Chrome confirms. Devotion is both defenses. Impetuous Youth is just resistance. Which, I mean, it's fair. Devotion is super good. Now, if that goes to our Fire Rajas, we should be set. And again, I've maxed out a lot of these characters because of Orb Dungeon. I went really hard into the Orb Dungeon. Just looking at my stamina and just kind of like, I hope I hit, you know, that 40 that I need. Good. Nice. Alright, so I don't think this actually matters, so we'll just use that. It's weak to Blizzard. We hit it with Magic Breakdown. Okay, it's immune to lightning. Good to know. Holy jeez. Jesus Christ. Okay. Point taken. We're going all out. So that was Hope's default. It's also a really good break. It does very minor damage. That's gonna kill. Damn it. Alright, that's a restart. Vivi's default, or Hope's default, does a very light attack, but gives him haste. So while the very weak attack isn't that great, only does like 100, or not 100, but does less than 1,000 damage, the haste on him is super good because he's just going to get turns out real fast and wreck bosses. Alright, this is a much better starting whatever party. Alright, so that, you can't actually do that, so that, Fear Siphon, oh, we do need to lower its magic. But we got the Stone Skin 2 off first, so that's good, and we'll Sword Oath you. Ooh, sometimes that repeat animation just messes with my head. Alright. Sorry, Vanille, you're probably going to be healing people this whole time. Nope. Ooh. I hope that hit Cure. I'm not actually sure which button I hit there. Nice. So, I didn't actually see if Vivi's hitting the damage cap with Blizzaga. He should be. Not quite. But we don't have time to do that now because the boss has gone to super mode. And we need to make sure that everybody stays topped off. Blizzaga, Magic Break. Speed this up just a tiny bit. Remember back in the day, before we got the speed quality of life update, where this was actually just the fastest speed. This was the only speed you could play the game at. Alright, we're going to just slow down a little bit there for priming main cannon. And hope that we can kill him this turn. Oh, jeez. That wasn't too bad. I feel like that would have been worse without the mitigation I have up. Well, I mean, that goes without saying. That move might have done more damage if I didn't have defense. Alright, that's gonna be it. So, nah, you know what? I'll cover that bridge. I'll cover that when we get there. Cross that bridge when we get there. Think out my lines before I say them. Alright, Greater Fire Orb. It's not bad. No, I will never turn down a Greater Orb from a boss drop. Gotta get them ice orbs, major orbs. This is all in all like a good reward for a boss. That, if you can, do this boss rush. Those are really good rewards. But next up, we have this boss. I believe that's pronounced Nyx, and Stria. It's more or less Shiva. This is the. In fact, it just says that down here to defeat Shiva without being KO'd. The caveat is you need to bring Snow and Hope. That's not that big of a deal. Also, the two of them mainly use physical-based attacks, so Power Break and Protect are a really good thing to bring. Yeah. Well, okay, so here's the thing. There's two of them, but they count as one boss. So it's a single target. And the thing to note is they are, in fact, an Esper fight in Final Fantasy 13. So it is, in fact, a big DPS check. Because as soon as you start that fight, you're on a timer. Okay, so for this, we're splitting it up a bit. Saz is still going to have the power and mental breaks, or power and magic breaks. Hope's keeping his Aja level spells. Vanille, still healing with Dialga. Snow is bringing in Armor Break with Pressure Point, which again, if you did the quest, you have it ranked up, so 4 uses. It's not bad. Lightning is coming in with a Mental Break and Dismissal, which is, you know, a favorite spell of mine. Other little things to note, Lightning and Snow still have their auto sap materials with the increased damage. Saz has a gun damage up, the one that you get from Irving. Gives you 20% more damage with guns. Again, as Chrome pointed out before, if you don't have a good gun, or like a good weapon for your support user, bring Zeal, or Sky Pirate's Pride, the one from Bathier. Because both auto haste, you know. Hope has Devotion, and Vanille has Eris's, I want to say, which is the increased holy damage. And the not record materia, the roaming warrior that I want for this, and we may actually have to fish for it if I'm not lucky, is a Red 13. Prayer of the Sarah. That is what Aerith's record material. Aerith. I hate saying the Japanese name. I got nothing against it. It just doesn't work too well in English. I think that's why they changed it. So, as always, oh, I got confused. I got confused by what was on my screen for a second there. This picture folder that I have is actually getting really filled up. I have to trim it down at some point. But anyway. Let's get going. The magic breakdown is mostly for the AoE ice damage. It's just that more of her stuff, well, the majority of her stuff is physical based. So I'm less worried about the AoE magic than I am the AoE physical. This should work, in theory. Oh, actually, let's just... Yeah. It's a lot of damage that they just kind of shit out on you. You could go at this with a Sentinel Grimoire or a Stone Skin too, but with most Esper fights, I really recommend bringing a haste roaming warrior. I did set this down to 1, right? Yeah, okay. Just because they can get really vicious really fast. I think you're right about the defense at least, because Hope just got fucking destroyed by the spells they're using. I just click through all this. I gotta stop talking and think for a second as I hit all the abilities. I want to say that they're affected by dismissal. I want to say every boss is affected by dismissal, which is why I love it. With haste, this is actually, with the proper physical mitigation, this is actually proving to be not too crazy. I don't think they're break resistant. Yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty simple fight. I mean, you have to. My guys are also huge. They're all 60 plus. That probably plays a part into it. They all have good, pretty decent equipment on. But like, I'm really not taking that much damage, so I do think what Crumb says is right. A lot of this, if you use this strategy, hinges on if they use their AoE Blizzaga or not. Though, in theory, you can also like put lightning stuff, her armor break on Snow, and bring Tyro with Taunt and Retaliate, and just destroy them. Just taunt all those attacks onto you. Just throw them right back. Alright, they're dead. I'm not even looking anymore. It's kind of hoping this fight would have lasted a little bit longer. I just think the stamina might be a little bit iffy. A little stamina situation. Oh yeah, 35 seconds left. So something that you're about to see when I switch over to the next party, I've kind of been holding back on a lot of these fights. Now we're going to see how this works out. Look at those. Major summon orbs. That's a rare orb. Ooh, major earths. If I get a major black, I might be able to I might be able to hone meteor. Alright, nice. By the time I'm done explaining the party, I'll have the stamina I need. People have asked me why do I always clear off the parties, and it's so that excess equipment isn't messing like on people and whatever. Alright, so here's me not holding back. Alright, let's go down the abilities first, and I'll explain why this isn't holding back then. So, on Lightning, Power Break, Dismissal, Mental Break, Pressure Point, Armor Break, Full Break, Protect, Fire Raja, Kirin, Dialga. Over on the left here, we have a Healing Staff from Final Fantasy 13, a Binding Rod from Final Fantasy 13, the Vega, This is a 6-star of a 5-star equipment from Final Fantasy 13, and the Keepsake Knife from Final Fantasy 13. I wasn't using these before because I would have just been able to steamroll the other fights. Again, just trying to show off, you know, if you don't have synergy equipment, you can get through it. Though I guess I wasn't really showing that off too well because I was using a bunch of 5s and what have you. Next time I should use some more 4s. But this is actually the party of me not holding back. The record materials are the same. I'm not going to go through those. Yes! Yes! Good! I need these now. Ooh. I just noticed the major orbs. Holy crap. That's a lot of major. So, the gimmick is, and I should have gone in here first and showed that off before going to the other thing. Alexander's completely physical. 100% physical. That's why I don't have a magic break in here. DT in the chat is excited because he's going to be able to make Meteor. Also, yes, because I'm very confident in my defenses, I'm not bringing an actual heal, I'm just bringing Kieran. I'm pretty sure regen will be enough. Though, in order for this party to work, I need a Sentinel Grimoire. Perfect. Is there a new Sentinel Grimoire down here? No. Alright. Seen a lot more unique breaks thanks to that Lucky Draw Festival. So let's just, whoops, that's not the right button at all. Is it shift print screen? Oh god. There we go. Figured it out. Holy crap. I lost track of buttons. Yeah, a lot of people came out ahead thanks to the festival. I think most people I know got at least one relic. Which honestly, it's so good. Most people I know got more than one. Some people did get some not good relics, which is, yeah, I feel bad for them. Like the binding rod that I have now, that's from the festival. One thing that I will try and do in these videos, even if I use like 5-star sync equipment. Oh, why am I not using the Halloween hat? I don't have the material to upgrade it. So like all this stuff is better than it, even if it has that nice AoE magic up. I would be getting wrecked. But yeah, one thing I will always try and do in these videos, no matter what, I'm not using unique breaks. That is I might have done that earlier, but from now on, never using unique breaks. Maybe a shared every now and then, but never unique ones. I'm going to take a drink of water before we start this one. Alright, let's go. Now, if I remember right from the website that I checked out, Alexander should only have 200,000, which is pretty low for a plus boss. Sorry, I was reading the dialogue. I feel like the dialogue goes past way too fast. Alright, so we should wait and have Vanille use the break. Go. Oh wait, Vanille should have used Kieran. Fuck! I fucked up now. Hell yeah. Alright, let's see how this goes. So this guy is break resist. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Just gonna let everything ease into this. See? That damage can be mitigated a lot. Let's increase it to 2. Now we're hitting heavy. Just like, now we are not fucking around. So yeah, suggestions for other people, because obviously damage is a big part of it, but we'll hold off on that thought until we see what our counters are at the end of this. So not just dropped halfway. I have no idea what Lofty Challenge does. That didn't do anything. I do think the general idea of bring a power break, protect Ga, a power break and protect Ga, and a Sentinel Grimoire, and you should be good defense-wise. I'm not using any synergy equipment. Okay, one person is, Snow is. But any synergy defensive equipment. So with that, you should be fine. I guess the one thing that you would have to worry about is getting out damage. But it seems like we're going to end pretty early, though I have like this crazy synergy equipment for FF13. Thank you for dumping 200 Mithril into the Saz event for his gun. There we go. Kind of happy I brought all those characters. Got some good dialogue out of it. So I ended the counter with a 25 seconds. That might be a little tight for other people because you don't have the same damage that I do, probably. Some of you might have better than me. But I think that strategy is pretty good. It's just a matter of like having enough Aja spells, having enough big, hard-hitting moves and all that. I kind of laughed at this 500,000 gil now because I don't know if you noticed this, but we have too much gil because of Orb event. So that's it for the event. But let's talk the bonus fights, or the event quest, right? There's two ways I see going about the event quest. Alright? So you're going to need... clear out the party. Alright. There we go. you can either go melee attacker, mage, healer, right? Or you go mage. Well, actually, there's 3 parties, alright? There's melee, mage, healer. Alright? You can also go. Here we go. You can also go support, mage, healer to get some boosted defenses from that. If you do go the melee attacker, they would you definitely want to bring on them magic break and power break, but you can get more damage out of them probably. If you have a good support weapon, support plus mage healer. If you have both a good melee and a good support weapon, you can be really risky. This is the strategy I'm going to try because obviously I just got those. You go melee, support, mage. If you're doing this strategy, you want to take 2 AoE spells on your mage. You want to have Quake, and you want to have Ruinga, which we just got. That's why I would suggest doing the boss rush before you do the event quest. On your physical attacker, you want them to be a spell blade. Alright? You want to take well, one of the spell blades should be an elemental one that's good against one of the faces. The other one could be like Drain Strike or Power Break. Not Power Break, Armor Break. Your support, you always want Power Breakdown, Mental Breakdown, because Bartholomeus, or Barthantalus, he's strong. He does crazy hits. You need to lower that stuff. You need a Sentinel Grimoire or a Stone Skin 2. Definitely that. And the other thing is that the double AoEs on your spellcaster will help you bust down both the heads. That's the general idea. I think the event quest is actually going to be harder than the bonus fights, to be honest, because you have all those dungeons. Furthermore, having 2 AoEs on your spellcaster will allow you to bust down the pre-fights really well. That's it, really. I really suggest watching a video for the event quest. Because I really don't know if the strategy will work. It's not set in stone. So I don't want to make a video for it, especially a live stream. Let's just go back. Listen to that Halloween music a bit more. But yeah, watch a video for that event quest, because that's going to be really rough. But for now, I'm signing off. I'll see you next week. What's our next event? I want to say it's Celis. So yeah, I'll see you then.